What is going on, you guys? It's your Popboy. It's Jay, and welcome to the smartest defensive settings, aka how to get your AI teammates to stop making stupid decisions on defense, Volume 1. I've finished testing all of these defensive settings that you see here, tested them a ridiculous amount. I mean, the whole goal of this was to get your 4 other teammates, your AI teammates, because you can only control one dude, of course, to get those guys to make smart decisions on defense. And I definitely think I found the settings to do that, and the evidence bears that out. These settings will pretty much eliminate the whole, oh my god, we just gave up an easy bucket, what the hell was my teammate doing? Okay, and that's kind of the underlying philosophy of my defensive settings, is to not give up easy buckets. Okay, to make the offense have to earn their points. All right, so let's get going. I'm excited. I'm ready to show y'all what I found out. I mean, it's just nice when all that testing pays off, and now we can all reap the benefits. And we're just gonna start right from the top here, okay, with the on-ball pressure setting. So that's going to be episode 1. Any good defense starts with the ball anyway, so it makes sense. So let's go. So as you can see, it's going to give you 5 different options for this one. The first one's going to be automatic. Spoiler alert, we're not going to do automatic for any of these settings. So we're never going to want to leave it up to the game to make the decisions. Okay, we're going to want to set these settings and tell the game what we want the players to do, because the game's not going to make good decisions a lot of the time. So we're just going to eliminate that option right off the bat. And the other 4 choices here are basically how much space you want your on-ball defender to give between him and the ball handler. Okay, so that's what this is all about. And the first one you see here is called gap, and that's going to give the most space. So the defender's going to be playing way off of the ball handler. So that's what gap looks like. That's just way too much space. We are never going to want to put it on gap. And the reason we're not going to want to do this one is because the defender is going to be in no position to challenge any sort of jump shot. Okay, he's not going to be able to contest the shot at all. He's playing way too far off of him. You might think that it would be a good thing to use for a big, like a DeAndre Jordan type who cannot shoot from the perimeter or from mid-range at all. But all the results I've gotten say that that's a bad idea. I would not set it to gap for any player, no matter how bad of a shooter they are. And of course, you want to lay off the dudes who are poor shooters, but not that far. It messes up your pick and roll coverage. Okay, and the next one we're going to take a look at, you can see all the way over to the right, is basically the polar opposite of gap, and it's called smother. So that's going to give the least space. It's basically no space. So as you can see, the defender's going to be in really great position to contest the shot, but he is way too vulnerable to the drive. And what I found is that even players who aren't good at driving, they can still pretty easily blow by, and if it's somebody who can drive the ball, then forget about it. This is just way too extreme. I mean, it's the kind of defense you play on somebody who already picked up their dribble, but you'd never want to use this setting on any player who still has their dribble. So we've eliminated the 2 extremes, and that leaves us with 2 options. Okay, we have moderate and tight. First, let's take a look at tight. I spent a lot of my time testing how high is the risk of getting blown by with this tight setting. The risk is still too high with this tight setting. Okay, the defender is still too easily exposed by the drive. That's what the evidence says. It's just not worth it. To be in a little bit better position to contest the shot, it's just not worth the risk of getting blown by. So what we want to do is be a little bit on the safer side, lower that risk of getting blown by, keep the ball in front of us, but still be in a reasonable position to contest an outside shot. And the setting that accomplishes that perfectly, moderate. So you can see about how much space the defender's going to give when it's on moderate. And right here we see the moderate on-ball pressure at work. I mean, this is beautiful. I mean, this is just a perfect amount of space here. I mean, he's in great position to contain the drive. He's able to beat him to the spot, cut him off, but he's still close enough to be able to get a solid contest. Okay, so moderate is clearly the one we're going to want to go with, guys. The only thing I will tell you is that there are a few rare exceptions. Okay, there are a handful of players in the league where you would actually want to put it on tight. It's just that rare player who is a super deadly spot-up three-point shooter, but terrible at driving. You know, the kind of guy you would want to run off the three-point line and encourage him to drive. Kyle Korver, Ryan Anderson might be the only two. But otherwise, we're going to rock with moderate. All the evidence just screaming moderate. But definitely comment below if you have any questions about it. If you have anything to say about it, bring me anything you got. As usual, you guys know I'm always responding. And go ahead and leave a thumbs up down below if you enjoyed the vid, you found it helpful. And next, we're going to move on to off-ball pressure. Okay, that'll be the next episode. And by the way, if you want to know when the next episode is coming out, go ahead and subscribe to the channel down below if you haven't already. You can turn your notifications on. That way you'll get that alert right when the next episode comes out. Speaking of which, I'm out. I gotta go for now. I'm back to the lab. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.